Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Els coming from Bemis Crafty Corner, and today I have a Christmas in July project for us. It's this little teeny cutesy gift card envelope, and you know, your gift cards or whatever, cash. It fits inside, and you know, you got a little string on here, and you can decorate this any way that you want. They're really simple to do. You can mass make these, and if you're like me and you've got a couple of grandkids, they've come to that age where you know, you can't just buy them a Barbie doll anymore. You know, they want money. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and this is great, you know, for grandkids, kids, friends at work, whatever. You can put gift cards or whatever in there. And so I'm going to show you how to do this and give you all the measurements. I'll be right back with a list of supplies. Alrighty, quick rundown on supplies here. Cutter, glue, corner rounder. If you're going to be using any die cuts, you're going to want your die cutting machine. You're going to want some kind of stamp for the occasion, some white cardstock to stamp that on. You're going to want your score tools, your scoreboard, some string, a couple of buttons, double-sided dots if you have them. If not, you can just use a small piece of double-sided foam, cut it off. The dies that you're going to use, and a piece of cardstock. Your cardstock should be 6.5 by 6 inches, and we're going to start by scoring that. So I'm going to get everything else out of the way, and I'll be back, and we'll score this and get to folding. I'll be right back. All right, so on our paper, on the 6.5 inch side, keep in mind that if you are using directional paper, this is 6.5 inches wide by 6 inches tall, okay? So we're going to score the first score at 1 3/4 inches. Nice, easy, light score. Do not dig in. 2 or 3 light scores, better than 1 deep gash, okay? And then we're going to do it over here at 4 3/4 as well. And once we have that, we're going to go ahead and turn this so that the bottom of our page is to the right. So we're going to score this one at 1 1/4. And then we're going to come over and we're going to score at 5 1/4. Okay, now we're going to put a little notch at 1 1/2 at the top, and at 1 1/2 at the bottom, and then we're going to put a little notch at 5 at the top and 5 at the bottom. For anybody who's keeping track, that's 2 clicks. Okay, that's it. Both sides, top and bottom, we're going to put the little notches, okay? Now we're going to fold. Anywhere there's a valley, we're going to turn it into a hill. That's going to keep the paper from cracking. And just ignore the notches for now. All right, we're going to do a little bit of cutting. We are going to get rid of this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece. Okay? On the smaller side, which is your bottom, we're going to wedge, and we're going to cut straight on the top, okay? So let's go ahead and make those cuts. So first things first, where we have that little notch, we're going to cut from there to that point. And then we're going to do just a little wedge in. Okay? We're going to do the same thing on the other side. A little bit of a wedge, and from that notch over. Same thing up here. From the notch over, and then this one is a straight line. And you're going to go just like right along the edge of the score line, okay? So you have a piece that looks like this. We know what this is, right? It's an envelope. All right. So now what I do when I'm going to glue this down is I put a little bit of glue on this side, right on the edge, and a little bit of glue on this one, right on the edge. That way when the two halves come together, it glues at 2 points. Now if you want to ink this, you should get that done before you glue everything down, but that's up to you. All right, I'm going to round some corners here. And I'm going to glue up this bottom flap by just putting a little bit of glue right around the edge. Seal that. All right, so now I have my envelope. If I want to make a mat for this, the mat is 3.5 by 2.5. If you don't want to mat it, then don't mat it. I'm going to go ahead and move some things out of the way because I'm going to do a little bit of stamping and a little bit of die cutting, and then we'll get back to putting the rest of this together. So I'll be right back. All right, so I just have a simple wood block here. And some red ink. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this out. Okay, so we got that. And then I'm going to run this through. The die cutter. Okay. And then I'm going to run the next size through out of this glitter. Like that. I could have gotten that a little bit more centered. So I'm going to stamp it again. We'll use the best of two, you know? Maybe the best of three. We'll see what happens. All right. That. Okay. Much better. All right, so then I'm going to put this on here. So I'm just going to grab a couple of dots. add this onto here. Okay. And then I have some of this silver. And I'm going to take a little piece of this. And I'm going to run this little Christmas ball through. And I could use commercial if I want to, you know, it's entirely up to me. But, you know, I'm weird, so, you know, I like to torture myself. Clean all this out quick. Go. There, and a little piece right there. There we go. All right, so I got that all out. Get this out of the way and close this up. I'm going to clean this mess up and I'll be right back. Okay, so for the next part, we're going to turn the envelope over. So we have our flap up. We've got our 2 buttons, and we're going to get a little bit of double-sided foam tape, or, you know, whatever. If you want to use a foam dot, you can use a foam dot. It's entirely up to you. We're going to cut just a small piece, and it's going to go on the back of our button. And then we're going to peel off the backing, and we're going to put it right there. Remember, this is just a gift card holder. It's not meant to last forever. Another piece, another button. It's not exactly in the middle, but we'll live. Line it up. Then we're going to cut about, oh, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of thread here. Tie a little knot on one side, but don't pull it tight. Put it around your button and pull. Now don't pull this too tight or you'll just go right through the adhesive, okay? And you can do this a double if you want. But don't pull it too tight, because if you do, you're just going to take your button right off. Seriously? Okay, I cannot tie a knot. Carpal tunnel is the worst, guys. I'm telling you. There we go. All right, I'm going to cut off my excess string. Doop. And now I can use my string to seal it. And then we're going to come back to the front. And I'm going to use a little bit of glue. Put on my sentiment, and a little bit of glue on the back of my decoration. No, Harry. I know you're not used to hearing that word. Just like that. There you go. Now, that's it. That's my little Christmas in July envelope there. If you want to add some of your shimmer to it, this is really good if you use a snowflake die. That's what I did with the original. Let me grab it real quick. So I had the original snowflake die and I wanted to make it sparkly. So I added a little shimmer to it. It's not really coming across on the camera, but it's very shimmery. But that's it. That's my easy little Christmas in July gift envelope. Perfect for a gift card, or you know, this will even hold a gift card that's in like one of those little cards, you know, that they put them in. So that's why I made it so much bigger than a normal gift card holder. But that's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. Go ahead and do me a favor, hit that button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell, share me with all your friends, and your friends can be my friends, and my friends can be your friends, and our friends can get to be friends. And before you know it, we do have a giant crafting community. I go live Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, and I post at least twice a week, typically on Monday and Wednesday, and then, you know, whenever else I feel like it, actually. I have two things going on in 2022, the first of which is my free classes. I have a series of free classes that I am putting on this year, and if you would like information on those, the best way to get that is to make sure that you select the all notifications button when you ring the bell, and that way you get notified as soon as those videos post. And then the other thing I have going on is my 12 of 22 challenge, 12 of 22 journal challenge. So if you would like more information on that, go ahead down to the description box below. Click on the link, go over and check it out. You do not need to make all 12 journals, but we invite you to join us for the rest of the year. Until I see you again, thank you so much, and stay well. Bye-bye.